So, I've been planning this video for a very long time, and it's time we do it. Alright, so I actually have no idea what to say. I'm gonna have an intro. I was gonna script this, but screw it, we're doing this unscripted. So what exactly is BabyFirst? Because not everyone here knows what that is. Well, it's an American television channel producing content for babies from 0 to 3. It's owned by the First Media Company, along with Fremantle. It's a channel obviously meant for babies to develop their skills. It's been available in over 120 million homes in 13 languages. The company was founded in 2004 by Guy Ornham and Sharon Rector. The network then launched in 2006 on DirecTV and also available through Dish. It was criticized for a while because parents believed babies should not be watching TV. But it was a success, definitely. But yeah, we're just gonna dive right in. So, I wanted to see if I could rank every single BabyFirst show, because it's a channel I grew up with. But, if I wanted to watch every single show, I would have had to do a lot of effort. But anyways, how many shows BabyFirst have? Oh boy. Just, oh boy. That answer may shock you. I'm sorry if I stole anybody's thumbnail. I literally just grabbed whatever I could find on Google. Alright, I'm done delaying this crap. Let's get started with this ranking. Starting at number 130. This is obviously the worst show BabyFirst has aired. I'm not gonna play footage because this is heavily copyrighted as far as I know. But you know what Teletubbies are. They are some of the most horrifying things I've ever watched in my life, and I'm surprised BabyFirst has aired it. I still respect them as a network, but this probably wasn't a good idea if you ask me. And I won't be surprised if any young children are going to be scared watching this. Oh my god, this show is boring! In Louie, this cat named, well, Louie, I don't know how to describe this. He just goes to this random object and puts together like a puzzle with the most boring music ever. This is so boring. I actually hate watching this. This is not even fun bad like some of the shows we're gonna get to. This is painful. My Play Pals may be one of the most frustrating shows I've ever watched. But that's the whole point of it being educational. In this show, BabyFirst takes one of their plush toys and just have them do random things. But the point is that repetition is how they'll learn. Practice makes perfect. The 70 golden nursery rhymes. I'm gonna be honest, when I watched this, I did not expect the first thing I see to be
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
And that kind of decided my ranking. I'm gonna play a single clip of this show just to show you how poorly made this is. Yeah, no wonder it only lasted 4 years. Foodie Fables may be another horrifying show, I must say. Seriously, what I'm more concerned about is where all the food guys that they made ended up. Since this was a licensed show from 1995, it's very obvious that it was just made for the show, and BabyFirst dubbed it over. These food animations, foodamations, well, I don't know how you say it, I don't know. Definitely don't survive today. They probably were thrown into the trash, or were just eaten. I feel like nothing happens in this show. The Dance Time Boys is just 2 boys dancing. I could only find a single episode for this show, and I must say I was not satisfied with what I watched. Quiz Bits is just a simple bumper. It barely counts as a show. And I guess it's frustrating to watch, too. It's just simple, really easy quizzes. Color Symphony is such a boring show, and that's the point. It's one of BabyFirst's nighttime shows. And to be honest, these nighttime shows are not going to get that good of a score. But we get ready to see more of these kinds of shows later. But in Color Symphony, it's just colors. What else would you want? Manners Matter is also just a bumper. But it gets some points because it teaches manners. Big Box Adventure. What can I even say about this show? It only aired it for 4 years, only on Saturdays specifically. Seriously, this show is just exists. Picture Pad was BabyFirst's first ever program to air on their network, premiering alongside the channel after the 8-minute introduction on May 11, 2006 at 7:08 a.m. And as its first show, it's okay, but I'm not a big fan of it myself. It's just coloring, but it's just kind of boring. Things only get entertaining when you start to see them color the picture. Here we go, another nighttime show, Kaleidoscope. It's what would you want? Babies. It's just babies playing in the playground. Zumbini Time I like, well, I don't like that much, because it's kind of fun bad when you think about it. It's pretty much what they axed another show of in favor of Zumbini Time, because this was a collab between BabyFirst and Zumba. Yeah, it's just a fitness show. It's part of their Sensory Wonderland shows. We'll talk about that later. 1, 2, 3 Race is boring. I must say, I'm kind of saddened by Larry's surprise eggs. This is not the Larry I knew and loved. It's just not that good. Spirella was BabyFirst's shortest lived show. It was an acquired show that only aired for a single month in 2007. And watching it, I guess I can see why, but it's still better than some of the shows we mentioned. Wow, it's another nighttime show, Carousel Dreams. What do you want me to say about it? It's a carousel that takes place in Dreamland. Super Baby is one of the many shows we'll get to that was part of BabyFirst's old Hola Baby block. We'll talk about that later. Shape School is what BabyFirst axed another show of in favor of this. And to be honest, that might be one of the saddest L's BabyFirst has ever done. Attack of the Tractor is another licensed show. Originally premiering in 1998, BabyFirst got the rights to air it in 2006 as part of their launch. But BabyFirst sadly ended their partnership with Tech after a 14-year run in 2020. And honestly, it's kind of boring. The episodes are so long. Yes, they're 14 minutes, that's not too long, but for a network where most of their shows are not even 10 minutes, that's a lot. So Smart was also part of Hola Baby, and it's one of those baby DVD series that existed back in the day, Probably to be right off the huge success of Baby Einstein, which we'll also get to later. BabyFirst Tales. It's just stories retold for babies. What else? I was never a huge fan of Bloop and Loop. It's just boring. Bloop and Loop, the titular bubble machines themselves, blow bubbles and into different objects. Ready, Dress, Go is another show that is like My Play Pals in terms of repetition, but it's not as painful to watch. One of these kids will try to figure out what they're supposed to wear, but the goal is to guess what costume is correct to wear. And yes, they choose the wrong one first and then the correct one. Interesting. I think the show gets worse as time goes on. What's different is also like the My Play Pals in terms of repetition. It's just spot the difference, basically. But it had a banger theme song, I must say.
Everything around here may seem a perfect match, but look a little closer, you'll find that there's a catch. When one thing just stands out, and three things look the same, we have to point it out and call it by its name.
A lot of these shows have surprisingly good theme songs. BabyFirst's most recent show to air is The Very Small Creatures, which is an acquired show from Britain by none other than Aardman. You know, the creators of Shaun the Sheep and Chicken Run. Honestly, Aardman's made way better things. I'll be honest, when I saw this, I had no idea what this was going to be about. Smile is children smiling? I had trouble finding footage and trying to figure out if this was actually what I was supposed to be watching. Let's be real. I only ranked it that high because of how elusive it is. It's just... there's nothing I can find on it. This may be one of their most elusive shows of all time. Here we go, the top 100. Play with me. It's like babies, essentially. Yeah, I'm not sure why they made like 2 clones of this show. Sandman is one show that has stuck around for a while. It has a daytime version and a nighttime version. The only difference is that the theme song is removed. And yes, it is about a man who does sand art. It's good art, I must say. But it just exists. Now here's where things get complicated. Mobile's 2D and Mobile's 3D. Mobile's 2D is our first case of BabyFirst having basically lost media. This show only aired for a short time from 2006 to 2007 and got quickly replaced with Mobile's 3D. I put them in their own respective spots, but I was debating on whether or not this counts as a separate show. BabyFirst remade some of their shows into 3D, and they don't count as separate shows. But the thing is that these two are so drastically different from each other, I don't know. But as a pity, I gave Mobile's 3D a 25E spot, Echo Fighter, but in the ranking, ranked them as both 98 and 97 respectively. Oh, it's another nighttime show, and it just exists. I thought numbers around that globe was really nice growing up, but coming back to it, it's just okay. I must say I was very disappointed when I saw Color Crew Magic. I remember coming back to BabyFirst and seeing that Color Crew Magic was going to be coming out. And I got hyped because I thought this would be so good if the original Color Crew would be great as well. And when I came to watch it, it's not that good. Color Crew just draw things and they just come to life. They have to help with today's craft and food and all that. I don't know. A Key in Disguise. Another short-lived BabyFirst show that only aired for 5 months. Or actually 7 months. It's a licensed show by Neptuno Films. In this show, Ducky, the 7-year-old, with his dog that just talks for some reason, goes inside of his sticker book and just becomes different jobs. Like he becomes a farmer, a doctor or something. I don't know. I watched like maybe one episode of this. But I also remember this show in Spanish on VME Kids. I should do a video on VME Kids now. Wow. But it's a good show. Actually, it's just okay. Wow, look, it's another clone of Baby's Little Playdate. Same thing, nothing else to say. Swing and Sing is just a parent and child bonding to just dance and nursery rhymes. That's all I can say about this one. Artie Party was also banished to the only air on Saturday realm. I'm pretty sure it used to air on BabyFirst Art and Music Blog back in the day, but I'm not sure. Anyways, in Artie Party, somebody just draws a random object and crafts them in different ways by putting pom-poms over it, for example. It's good, I guess. Tell Me a Story, another launch show. This one, it's just random stories that they made up. Yeah, I guess it's fun to watch, but most of the time you just get kind of bored. Another show that I remember also was on BabyFirst was Honk 2 and Swoosh Swoosh. Originally airing in 2006 and premiering in 2005 by whatever company made it. It's a Dutch company, I know that. They initially stopped airing in 2007, but brought it back in 2016 for 5 more years, or actually 6 more years, and then finally stopped airing in 2022. Honk, the titular car himself, with his best pal, Swoosh Swoosh the helicopter, just go on adventures together, I guess. Toot the Bow is more of a side character, to be honest, don't feature him a lot. It's a good show, but stories don't do much for me. I thought we would have some lost meaning when I was watching Hope's Circus, made by an Australian company, and also just, I can only find this one episode from 2015, and honestly, I mean it's good, but I don't think this was worth the troubles, to be honest. No wonder they aired this for 4 months. Rainbow Horse is one of BabyFirst's powerhouses in the network. Rainbow Horse, the Rainbow Horse, just makes things into color. He swings his tail, and everything comes to life. Baby Songs is kind of decent for a show, to be honest. It's another acquired show, and probably their first acquired show to air on the network, airing as their 4th initial program. It just takes things from this random DVD of songs. It's actually quite decent. Art and Fiona was also a giant in this network. Not as popular as some of the other shows we'll get to later, it's still a good show. Fred and Fiona, 2 siblings, or best friends. I don't know if they're actually related or not, or they're just really best friends. Anyways, they just go to this board called 40. Then they ask him to make an object, like an ice cream truck and a flower or whatever. And then they just, until 40 just gets it right because they're trying to generate a dally prompt, they just go ahead and just get the object correctly, and then Fiona over here gets sad because she wants to see how the object's actually used. Well, how do you think a flower is used? You store it in a pot. Or a bouquet to sell at the store. I don't know. And then they go back and recap all the mistakes Bordy made because he's stupid and doesn't know anything, apparently. But yeah, that's all that happens in front of Fiona. I appreciate this show for trying to teach its sign language. This is a thing that many channels probably would never try to do. This show was almost lost media for a while. For a long time I couldn't find any footage of it, but I remember this one. But it took, I guess, a while until people who have been uploading BabyFirst archive footage just got this one. But it's a good show. Squeak. As decent as it is, it may have been BabyFirst's saddest L, probably. Airing as an original for 15 years. Or actually 17 years almost. BabyFirst finally cut the cables in May of 2023, ending their legend with the company. Squeak is a British show by ITV that premiered in 2003. It shows Todd, Toot, and Tizzy Mouse, and 3 little mice in a TikTok house. And it's their longest program that they air, because each episode is around 20 minutes long. That doesn't sound like a lot because that's your average SpongeBob episode, for example. But for BabyFirst, that's pretty long. It's also part of the Feelings Garden shows, which teach social skills. But I'm not sure how this show does specifically. Anyways, they just do random things. They just do random stuff. They listen to a story, which is the most boring thing in the world. They try to guess what the object is. They sing songs. They watch TV at the end. And at the end of every episode, they go ahead and clean up their mess and just go back into the house. Just, man, I'm sad they killed this one off. Night Night Lullaby. You wanna guess what this is? You wanna guess? It's a nighttime show! But this one gets some points because it shows children's drawings, and I must say that was really cool. Wow, Scuba Dodge is another, well, actually it has a daytime version too. But it's more entertaining. In Scuba Dots, you just watch fish play connect the dots, and they make different sea animals. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Hero Dead is a popular Canadian show by Wildbrain that premiered in 2019. It's the only Feelings Garden show on BabyFirst to still air today. Feelings Garden has some of the lowest managed shows in BabyFirst with only 11. What is the Feelings Garden? Well, it shows that teach social skills. You know what? Screw it. Let's explain what the color coding system is. Okay, so the color coding system is what made BabyFirst unique compared to every other network. Each show, based on the subject that it's teaching, will change Blossom, their mascot, and give her different flowers. Red was Language Playground, orange was Feelings Garden, yellow was Thinking Journey, green was Sensory Wonderland, blue was Numbers Parade, pink is Imagination Lane, and multicolor is Sweet Dreams. And of course, you can guess what most of these teach. But yeah, that's what made BabyFirst stand out on their channels. And I guess it gives me an excuse to discuss the next thing. I don't know how to pronounce this show's name. It also aired on Hola Baby, if I'm correct. So what is Hola Baby? Hola Baby was a former programming block that aired on BabyFirst from 2006 to 2016. It airs most of BabyFirst programs in Spanish, and also some Spanish originals too, to teach kids Spanish. Which I think what makes them a great network. That they would try to teach children Spanish. Like, do you know a channel that does that? Today, it probably would not make sense to air it anymore because BabyFirst has their own network channel that airs a program in Spanish along with English. So today, it would make sense why it got dissolved. But at the time, this was probably amazing for the network. But this show does exist. Gugu is a baby. He's just minding his own business, drawing until this toy just comes to life and becomes different vehicles. It's really interesting, I guess. And I'll come back to that subject later with the vehicles, because I have a situation of lost media right there. Gugu and Gaga is the spiritual successor introducing his friend Gaga. Every episode, they're just playing ball until the ball comes to life and becomes different musical instruments. Interesting. Wave. It's a wave. Wave is just waves. But it also has its own sister show. Flow is basically the Checkers of Wave. Flow and Wave is like Carl Jr. and Hardy's and Checkers and Rowley's, basically. They're kind of similar. Flow is just water flowing. Both of these shows stopped airing after 6 years, but came back in 2022 for a day. But they're not nighttime shows as far as I know. Black and White was a nighttime show, but it also airs during early bloomers. Black and White shows different objects in black and white, and I must say the art style's really cool. I actually like this one a lot. I think it's entertaining. Safari Scrapbook. I'm kind of sad because this one was banished to only air at night. But Safari Scrapbook was a good one. It taught children animals, and it was entertaining. Sally Mally, another Welsh show from 2000, based off of a book series that I've never heard of. Sally Mally and her crow Jack, I think that's his name, they just go on adventures. I would appreciate this show more if they did not just use narration for it and not instant. And they could have given Sally Mally and the crow different voices. Like, bro. That's my only complaint. This Belgian show from the 1980s, Tic Tac, not TikTok. I swear, I forgot some of these shows because I just watched way too many for this list. Baby Maze is one that's still around today. Baby Maze is about these animals. There's a porcupine, a duck, a caterpillar, a pig, a gerbil, and a ladybug, as they go through a maze to try to figure out how to get out. They're very simple mazes because this is for babies, remember? So of course it's going to be stupidly easy. And it's just... something about it is entertaining, I don't know why. When I first saw McKinnon premiere in 2014, I thought this was just some famous YouTuber I've never heard of. Turns out she's a BabyFirst original. She just dances with her friends. They only had it for 3 years, I guess it was not successful anyway. It's number time! Number time, it's just... something about this show is so simple, I love it. They just count. It's very quick. This was another show that they were made into 3D. Tilly Knock Knock, another iconic show. Tilly, the duck, invites children into her house, and she always has another game, implying that we've met her before, and this was your first time watching it yet. She just invites you to her house, with her parents to be nowhere to see. Maybe her parents are dead. Or they leave her home alone, I'm not sure. For a long time, I thought that the room on this right you see here was a bathroom, but it turns out I'm being stupid and that was a kitchen because why would there be no door in the bathroom? Anyways, Tilly just hears one of her animal friends come over, which she just allows them to come over into her house. She didn't even invite them, she was just like, oh, you came over today? Yay! But it's a good show nonetheless, I must say. Here's an interesting one. Where Did They Go only aired for a few months in 2007. The show's basic. You watch objects just go into their right column. But most episodes of this show are lost, apparently. 25 out of the 50 episodes that exist, I guess, are available, but most of them are lost. Most of the first shows are technically lost because not all their episodes were uploaded by BabyFirst themselves or uploaded by other people. Now, apparently I came back for a day in March 2016, but I don't think there's any proof of that happening. I'll touch on that subject later. Anyways, Where Did They Go is a very basic program. Widget and his Wonder Machine was a show I never cared for as a kid. Honestly, it just exists in my opinion. Widget just grabs a bunch of a puddle of Play-Doh, just throws it in, and starts making toys because he's Santa Claus, I guess. It had a 10-year run, premiering in October 2006, and unfortunately being killed off in February 2016. Well, I guess Blossom was not impressed by Widget enough. Maybe he did belong to the math games. Numbers Farm. Numbers Farm is about a chick named Pete. He goes around the farm and learns to count from 1 to 5. Yeah, you wonder why 1, 2, 3 Race is probably a better show objectively. But it's fun, I like the art style. Peekaboo is another legend in BabyFirst. Peekaboo, human? I'm not sure if it's like some baby wearing a onesie or if just Peekaboo, he's his own thing. But he exists. He plays Peekaboo, I guess. I can only say so much. Baby You. It's another show that exists. It takes BabyFirst iconic shows, crossing them over, and then teaching children different subjects. Baby University, I guess. Tales and Friends is a recent one. Take another crossover show and just readapt a lot of stories. You can guess why BabyFirst Tales was also killed off as well. Why do I keep saying killed off? There's no cares in that show. But Tales and Friends is good. It does the job better. It does the job done way better than BabyFirst Tales, and I can see why this show will probably stay around for a while. Hey look, it's a show I actually recognized before BabyFirst aired it. Word Party is a Netflix show by the Jim Henson Company, known for bangers like Sid the Science Kid, Dinosaur Train, of course The Muppets, Sesame Street, you name it, they had so many good shows. But Word Party is a recent one that premiered in 2016 and ran until 2021. It's about these 4 babies who they refer to the viewers as the big kids, even though I think they're the same age for this demographic. Anyways, it stars Kip the Wallaby, France the Cheetah, or Franny the Cheetah, I don't remember her name. Lulu the Panda, and then Bailey the Elephant. They just go on their adventures. Each episode's 13 minutes, but it's fun. I like how they use motion capturing for this, which is why the characters move the way they do. It's a good show, but the shows we get better and better. Sympholies is an interesting one. This is a show from 2000 to 2004, starring an instrumental family. When I saw this show, I thought of 2 things. 1, Musicland, a classic 1935 Disney cartoon, and 2, Poppy the Performer. Yeah, you guys remember that show? Sympholies has a really weird plot. And Sympholies just has these really weird plots. Like in this episode, this dad, I guess his wife won't let him in the house, so he just sits out there. And when it's dinner time, he just goes ahead and mows the lawn. What? I don't know. I don't get it. The Bop-A-Lot. I completely forgot this show existed until I came back to watch it. The Bop-A-Lot is about 3 bugs. They are bugs, I know that. Who just dance around. When I first rewatched this, the first thing I heard was and I was genuinely confused. Anyway, this is a good show. My Gym at Home. I must say, this teaches things way better, I'm sorry. They aired it for 10 years from 2008 to 2017. So, 9 years, sorry. It's just fitness, it's the same thing, it's just more tolerable. Wordies. These 3 characters that are beans who remind me of Dr. Mario viruses. I learn new words, I guess. Actually, I like this one. It's a show from CBeebies, Bonnie, Banana, and Mo. Honestly, it's I don't think many things happen, so there's no dialogue at all, to be honest. Moostie. This is a show based from Belgium, created in 1946. Yes, you might be asking, is this a Hello Kitty knockoff? No, Moostie predates Hello Kitty by 3 decades. And he had 3 different kind of shows. Well, 3 versions of the show. His first one came out in 1968, his second in 1990, and the third in 2007. BabyFirst aired the 1990-2007 version, but they've aired the one they air nowadays is the 2007 version. It's 3D. And Moosey he's a 4-year-old cat who does stuff with his family. It's so much stuff I can only say on so many shows. He has all his forest friends, I guess. Now you can tell it's hard to say something. What is it? Just the ball rolling to form the shape of an object, like a pear or a snail? I don't know, man. This show apparently also has lost episodes and can be seen as a parallel sequel. Where did they go? Clay World, a show part of the Mama and Me Funtime blog, a blog made for bonding with your mother. And Clay World just features this guy making stuff out of clay. What else do you want me to say? It's fun to see the finished product though. Excuse. Sometimes on Friday night, it will air its daytime version, but not as often. But the nighttime version is the most iconic. It features Minecraft blocks forming pixel art. Actually, this predates Minecraft by 2 years. But it's a good show. Also part of Hola Bebe. Nursery rhymes I've never heard in my life, adapted in Spanish. I can only say so much. Juno Baby, a license that I believe was bought by the Jim Henson Company too. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. I don't know what the plot is, but it exists. I like this one. My Color Friend is one of the newer shows, actually surprisingly good. In this show, you and Gaga watch the color crew make different thingies. Just make real things, like they make construction site and all that. You know what I mean? Like houses. It's fun to watch. Joey's Toy Box. It exists. Joey, the kangaroo, who's like what, 3? He just pulls a toy out of his toy box and figures out how to use it. Because I guess he doesn't know what a toy car is used for. What, do you think he can eat with it? Do you think it was an eating utensil? You gotta be so stupid, Joey, man. Eventually he figures out what it's used for and shows his mom how it's used and she's all proud of it. Yeah, it's a good show. Oh, Vinny's art. According to Vinny himself, he makes his own creations inspired by the art. I'd argue that this is just him plagiarizing drawings by just adding onto them. But you know what, these are public domain paintings, so what trouble is he gonna actually get into? But what he does is, it's funny, he just takes a painting, copies and pastes it onto his canvas, and just goes inside him like it's Blue's Clues. It's funny, and I actually like this. Baby DIY is also very elusive. It's a show where this lady just goes to people's houses and just helps them out making crafts. It's fun. It also has a banger theme song.
Come along, let's get creative, skillful and inventive. Use your hands and jumpstart your imagination. Join us and we'll keep you busy. Crafting's fun and easy. Slap a smile on and let's get to work. There's nothing that we can't create. We'll grab whatever's on our plate. Spark your mind, roll up your sleeve. You'll be amazed what you'll achieve.
Albert and Jr. This was a collab between BabyFirst and Navi, who sadly are defunct. But it's still around. What I guess I'm surprised it's still around today, to be honest. After 10 years. I guess Junior was made legally distinct enough, so even if the partnership ended, BabyFirst could actually still air the show technically, because he's not actually a real Navi Jr., I guess. But he technically is at the same time. Anyways, Albert, this dumb child, has to learn things because his friend Junior, his talking tablet, comes to life and just teaches him everything. My animal friend Roby. Did animal. Roby has also stayed around for a while, because I guess he's just that iconic. Surprising. Harry and Larry. Pros who help. Taking two iconic BabyFirst characters who have rhyming names, and Larry always has a problem to solve, with Harry becoming a different kind of occupation, like a doctor and a teacher, to help him out. It's cute, but it's not the best show ever. It's still good though. Big Time with Al became one of the BabyFirst mascots, I guess? It's an hour block, but also a show? But yeah, it's good, I guess. Segments are good. It's pretty good, actually. Suki's Circle. I remember this one. This show is morbidly horrifying, I must say. But you know what? I'm gonna allow it to. The songs are funny. Everything the show does is hilarious. It's just so weird. I just love it. We first began airing their own nursery songs in 2014. Nothing special, they're just nursery rhyme. You know what those are. But they're good, I guess. BabyFirst have also tackled their own original songs, which they're also good, but nothing much to say. Here's a recent one, The Monsters Guide. This is a good one, surprisingly. It features these two Muppets who learn how to do everyday things. Two-tone motion got tons of points. While it may look like a black and white clone, which it pretty much is, this one's way more interesting, and unfortunately, it was also banished to the Saturday realm. Pretty sad, but it's still a good show. Word of the day. This was also part of Hola Baby. This one taught, well, new words. They're basic, but they would teach them in English and Spanish, which is what gives it extra points. It's a fun gimmick. I wish this show was still around. Kids Love Spanish is basically a better version of it because it teaches full-on words, but it does way more. So Kids Love Spanish is obviously going to get better points than Word of the Day because it's longer too. Another bumper show, Connect the Dots. It's a good one. It's just Connect the Dots. That's a fun game, am I right? Boot, Scoot, and What, another recent show. These free owls, who I assume are siblings, have to learn new words. Wow, can you guess? One thing I wish this show did was make it so each owl would always guess the correct word each episode instead of just having Hoot, the oldest one, always guessing correctly. PD the Prank Rush is one show that's also stayed around for a while. It was remade in 2018 in 3D, which at least it did solve my biggest gripe with this show. Seriously, why the flip does PD sound like a childish theme song, but not in the show? But they did fix that. It's a fun show, I must say. Here we go, another license show. So this is
Hopla.
Hopla is about
Hopla.
Hopla's about this rabbit who
Hopla.
Hopla is about a rabbit named Hopla. It's actually a spiritual successor to Tic Tac. Anyways, it's about a rabbit. He just does stuff, sets up parties, drives in a car, which means he's legal driving age. I don't know what to say. It's so weird, but it's so enjoyable at the same time. It also apparently came back for a day in 2016, but there's no proof of that. We'll once again talk about that later. Puzzles. Another giant of BabyFirst. This guy called the Puzzle Kid, who once again sounds like a child in the theme song, but then was redone, was then remastered to then sound like an adult. Who does not sound like a kid, by the way. Just does puzzles. They're basic, but it's so funny to watch how a puzzle just fall over the place. It's so weird and stupid. Hide and Seek, more commonly known as Sammy and Eve, is another classic that's also been around for a long time. These two squirrels, Sammy and Eve, just played this game where they hide an acorn in a hot and cold style. It's also really enjoyable, I must say. There's a reason why this one has stayed around since launch. One that's also been around since launch was Yo-Yo and Peanut, which also premiered with the launch. Though it did stop airing for a while in 2014, but then came back in 2018 for a remaster. These two clowns, who are great friends, are never the same, as they always feel the opposite of each other. One's happy, the other's sad, you know what I mean? It's really funny, it's really interesting to watch, and also the theme song's also a banger. Magic Tunnel. Man, I want to get this vent over with so I can explain the issue. So with Magic Tunnels, this mole named Mo, apparently, who is confirmed to be female, I had no idea, just goes and just digs, she just grabs a shovel, just scoops up dirt and just goes inside the hole, and just starts seeing a bunch of Rube Goldberg machines and all that. It's really interesting to watch, and I like this one. But yeah, BabyFirst has sporadically aired this one. It premiered in 2008, and its last airing was in 2022. Interesting. Uki's World. This dinosaur named Uki just goes on his stupid adventures. This was BabyFirst's 100th program. Let me get a side note, there was a show known as Parenting Tips on the wiki, but I'm not including that, because that's not a show. And I was being generous including some of these shows anyway. Uki's World is really funny, and I'm surprised I hated this one when I was younger. Friendly Jack. Well, another Feelings Garden show. Jack is a mime, I guess. and he just does random things to develop social skill. This show also came back for a day in 2016. You know what, let's talk about this. So according to the wiki, several shows actually came back for one day on March 9th, 2016. And the proof was the BabyFirst website, what it looked like on that day for BabyFirst favorites. But here's the thing, BabyFirst favorites has only been around since 2013, and some of the shows mentioned were long since gone. So it'd be really weird if BabyFirst still showed them around today. And I don't think it make any sense for some kid to just say their favorite shows, where do they go after 9 years? Like, would BabyFirst bring it back, like, actually? I have no idea. Then again, they have done cases of bringing back old shows. Well, kind of. Okay, I don't have any proof of this, but I remember one time, like, a parent asked for BabyFirst to air Juno Baby, and guess what? They couldn't air that. But that was probably because Juno Baby is a licensed show. They don't have the rights to air it. But then a parent asked that their favorite show was Shapes and Sizes, which aired. But Shapes and Sizes was actually on the website at the time. But that doesn't make sense, because then because another one had a kid asking for Magic Tunnels, and guess what it aired? Magic Tunnels, I'm on the website! So without any actual proof, we will never know if these shows actually aired on this day, but I think it's unlikely. We don't even have this airing BabyFirst favorites archive, along with many programs archived. There are people who are uploading archives of BabyFirst books from around the late 2000s, 2008 to 2010. But come on, do you really think BabyFirst would actually be allowed to air Hopla? If BabyFirst was to air a show they don't own the rights to air anymore, that would be illegal. And I don't think BabyFirst are trying to get themselves into some legal trouble. So, I'm sorry. Unless you have proof, I don't think any of these shows actually came back on March 9th, 2016. There have been cases of shows coming back. Yes, Flow and Wave did make a return in 2022. But that doesn't mean we will actually be able to see it again. If BabyFirst was to bring back shows, there would be ones they could not bring back because of legal problems. But there's shows they could bring back. But anyways, yeah, that's enough about this event. What were we talking about again? Oh yeah, Friendly Jack's a good show. Moving on. Here's a show BabyFirst cannot bring back. Junglies. Junglies was a British show from the 90s. That was dubbed over in 2006. It's about jungle animals who just go on random adventures and all that crap. It's good. Really enjoyable. I can do it. These are, in my opinion, BabyFirst's best songs. You know what? It's good. Neptuno Films. Remember I was talking about them earlier? Here's the other show they made that ended up becoming a thing on BabyFirst. The 2005 show, Daddy and Daddy. Daddy, a yellow child, human, whatever this thing is, goes at home from school and just tries to draw stuff, and then his dad just comes over and just like, well, I'm gonna guess what the drawing is. It's actually really nice to watch, and BabyFirst actually dubbed this one over because the original show does not contain dialogue. I guess it is to make the show more interesting. This also taught me a few things. The dad's only fear is snakes.
It's the one thing I'm scared of, a snake.
You're right.
Really? I can't believe it.
Sometimes the dad will guess the drawing right, in which he'll just flex about it, with Danny just sighing in somewhat disappointment.
I knew it. I got it. I got it. I win. I'll win. Ooh, Super Dad walking. Oh, Danny, I love you. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh,
Sometimes the dad will guess it wrong and walk to his room depressed. But don't worry, Danny draws him a heart, which he knows that he'll get correct, and then they love each other. Heartwarming show, am I right? Bobby's Balloon House. Yeah, this is a good one. Bobby, who I guess his real name's not actually Bobby, but it's still a really good show. Bobby makes a balloon, and all the kids try to guess what it is. It's actually really fun to watch and made me appreciate balloon art a lot, I must say. It's really enjoyable. And at the end, they all have a balloon party. I was just talking about this earlier. Shapes and sizes. In this show, a kid tries to put together a puzzle, but they obviously keep getting it wrong, so you have to get the sun and moon to help them. Dang, the sun can really help me. Harry the Bunny, another giant of BabyFirst, premiering in 2007. It, of course, stars Harry the Bunny, a puppet, who goes outside every day and just does random things. There's one episode where they actually say he plays in the weekend and not play every morning. I don't know why they did that. It's a good show, actually. It's just fun to watch, and you have a really cool ending montage. Shushy by Baby, another 2007 original. Yes, BabyFirst actually premiered 5 shows on the same day. Harry the Bunny, Shushy by, Peekaboo, Where Are They Going, What Is It, all premiered on May 28th of 2007. Shushy by is about, well, a place called Shushy by, and all these characters just have fun creating dreams for children. There's some really good songs, I must say. The segments are pretty fun to watch. This is a really good licensed show. No kids. 7 siblings, well, I assume they're siblings because while they all live in the same house, this isn't a hotel. They all go ahead and just notice a letter from that mailbox. They go on an adventure and have to learn high and low, fast and slow, and loud and quiet. After the end, they get to meet the instrument celebrity themselves and do their funny dance. This was a pretty sad L in my opinion. Susie's doing it, with Jay Dunn. And his friends. While it may look like some Winnie the Pooh knockoff, it's actually pretty original and I think it's really fun to watch. The stories are heartwarming. This show has some melancholy feeling to it, but you know what? It's so enjoyable. I love this movie. I cannot believe they killed this one off. cYObEL. 2 kids try to figure out what the cYObEL, who I don't know who those are, make a shape. Well, an object out of shape, like a mouse or a ladybug. And at this time, they start cracking jokes at each other, start being funny. It's actually a really entertaining conversation to watch, and at the end, the cYObEL create a thing. Boom. Really good. Wonder Box has stood the test of time. It's so good. This Wonder Box opens up a hole because he has a bunch of games inside, I guess. He's the magical cube of fun. This goes ahead and has and for different segments involving different objects show up. A roller coaster, the zipper one that always was really bad. This one where a puzzle gets eaten up and you figure out what the object is at the end. 2 animals jumping on the bed, a cuckoo clock, mystery doors, animals jumping on a pogo stick because why not? This one's really good. Bonnie Bear, also a banger, and also one that stood the test of time. Bonnie, a bear, and her friend, Mr. Gramophone, go ahead and play the listen. They have to figure out what the free objects are and what they are, what the free noises are, and then figure out what scene that they can be seen at. Really enjoyable. Brainy Baby may have been BabyFirst's saddest L. I'm just kidding. There's one I'm really sad about. In Brainy Baby, this is just, I can say it's basically Baby Einstein when you think about it. It teaches color, shapes, letters, all that. But I guess the way they do it is interesting. My pop-up book is so stupidly hilarious. It features a pop-up book telling a random story every time. This isn't even a pop-up book. Do you not know what a pop-up book actually is? Anyways, the whole gimmick of this one is how there's a random object that's not supposed to be used until the end. Like birthday candles or full-on cereal or something. I don't know. Or the spoon. I don't know. And it just does that, and they come back every single page, because why not? But yeah, in my pop-up book, it's so stupid, at the end you get the funniest sound in the world. First Impressions is actually really enjoyable. BabyFirst did air this one from 2006-2009, and they just took segments from the DVDs and just cut them down. Meow and Mao, everybody's favorite TikTok meme.
Meow, 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 la 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 la.
Two cats made of Play-Doh go ahead and hear a mysterious noise from 20 miles away. They try to figure out what the animal is, and with each one pushing each other away to go investigate the noise. Eventually the animal itself comes out and it's actually really friendly towards them. This was actually a show from Italy that ran from 1974 to 2007. BabyFirst actually aired Baby Einstein at one point, though they were cut down into segments for obvious reasons, so they shouldn't be held long. BabyFirst's airing of this show is actually lost media with not much archives of it online, but you probably know what Baby Einstein is. They're the enjoyable DVDs created by the Baby Einstein Company, of course. They're really good. BabyFirst airing Bob the Builder was probably a really interesting idea. I'm not going to show footage for this one, you know who Bob the Builder is, and I'm not trying to get myself a copyright strike. Bob and his talking construction vehicles just build stuff. Of course, it's still a great show. Another giant of BabyFirst, it's vocabulary. Larry learns new words after being scared to living daylights out of them just because you move them once. But then he learns the words and just has fun, I guess. These ended segments were also funny too. I gotta defend this one a lot. I freaking love this show for some reason. Dinosaurs is about 6 dinosaurs by the company Nightstand Creations, which I've never heard of in my life. It premiered in 2010 and stopped airing in 2015, which just shows. Unfortunately, footage for the show is very difficult to find.
Pink crayon. Pink.
I just wish we had more. This was a really good show. The Knee Bouncers Show by the Knee Bouncers Company, which I don't think anyone's heard of. I don't even know why they're called knee bouncers. Is it because in the intro they just bounce on their knees? That looks more like them bouncing off their ass. Anyways, it's about these animals who do fun things. Flycat, Freddy, Foo-Foo, Caesar, Horatio, and Sammy. We all just do random things. Just, why not? I guess it's educational. ABC Galaxy. Teaching the alphabet, and that's it. This alien named Gigs, yes, she's an alien, not a human. And her monster friend Huang go to different planets to learn each letter of the alphabet. Yeah, this one's actually really enjoyable, but it is of course cursed by the fact there's only 26 letters in the alphabet. So of course, there can only be 26 episodes. Now, if you've been paying attention, you might know one iconic BabyFirst show has been absent this whole time. That's because it is shown to be perfect. It is their greatest show of all time, and you cannot defend me otherwise. I don't know why I'm watching BabyFirst at this age, but this show is perfect, and I'm gonna prove why right now. Number 1, show us who you are.
Guess who's the color of the day? That's the game we want to play.
There is a reason why Color Crew has stood around and become arguably BabyFirst's most iconic show. Everything this show does is perfect. The voice acting, the gimmick, the concept of it, the point of it being educational, the way it teaches children colors, the music, everything. This show is perfect. It might be one of the greatest TV shows of all time. It's just a baby show, but what it does is amazing. I believe this show is amazing. And I'm glad, and it's great that it'll be staying around for years to come. And that's the ranking. BabyFirst has just shown to be a great channel, believe it or not. Watching it was a blast from the past, had a lot of fun, and I'm only ever gonna do this again. I had to watch 130 shows. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and to be honest, there'll be more ranking videos, I promise. Maybe one day I'll rank every Disney Junior show. maybe every Nick Jr. show, every VMe Kids show, I don't know. But, hey, this was a fun project to do. Let me know if you drove with this network yourself. It was painful, but I'm glad it's all over, you know? Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.